so much for the critical theory. And the third category is the normative category. What does normative mean? Normative, you see norm, right? N-O-R-M, norm. The word norm means, what does norm mean? Things and people behave as the way it normally is. So it is the common way, the common standard, the common law, the common rule, the common principle. It concerns these, the word norm. The normative theory focus on media institutions. What the principles involve, what the rules, what the laws, what the values people take for granted should look like. Normally they happen within institutions, and it has a lot to do with institutions. Okay, the goal is to set an ideal standard. Here's another word: rules, laws, principles. Now, standard. Okay, an ideal standard against which the operation of a given media system is judged. The key word is standard, and to judge by standards. And then normative theory explain how media systems should operate in order to conform or realize a set of ideal social values. Concerning the knowledge under this umbrella of normative theory, the nature of knowledge is situational. Keep in mind, remember, we are researching institutions, standards, principles, rules, and laws under which institutions, groups of people, human societies work, operate, functions. So the knowledge we get, first of all, should be situational. In other words, what's real, what is real, what is knowable, what is knowledge about a media system is real or knowable only for the specific social system in which that media system exists. Just repeating myself, okay? Epistemology. How do we get knowledge? How do we obtain, acquire, create knowledge? Knowledge is developed and advanced based on comparative analysis. Keep in mind, we are now getting into the depths of institutions, organizations. There are many an agent in such institutions, not only composed of by individuals, but also by smaller subject sections of that organization or institution, smaller groups. When these individuals or smaller groups of individuals interact within a large institution or organization, it's inevitable that we employ comparative analysis. We compare this group with another group. We compare this individual with another individual, not only between individuals or agents, so-called, but also structurally speaking, we can compare the structure of this institution with other structures of other institutions, And also within the same institution, there are also structural similarities that we can cast our eyes on. And we can only judge the worth of a given media system in comparison to the ideal espoused by a particular social system in which it operates. Keep in mind, a media institution as an object of our normative study, it is also a small section, it's a small component part of a larger whole, which is the human society. The media section, the mass communication section of the society is located in and shaped by the larger, even larger social systems, especially by the values, by the culture, by the practices of law, by all sorts of ideology of that larger and more general society. Axiology. Value-laden is the first characteristic of the knowledge that can be knowable, obtainable, or real under the umbrella of normative theory. Okay, the study of media system or parts of a system is undertaken in the explicit belief that there is an ideal mode of operation based in the values of a larger social system. First of all, an ideal mode of operation. An ideal mode of operation, in other words, such an institution for normative knowledge, for normative theory, the knowledge is most often than not in the form of ideal modes for operation. Idealism is the characteristic of normative theory. And secondly, don't forget, all these knowledge, all these type branches of knowledge under the umbrella of normative theory is located within a much larger social system. Okay, so much for the four categories. Take a look, remind, what are the four categories? First one, post-positivism. Second one, cultural theory. Third one, critical theory. Last one, normative theory.